morning. Welcome to another edition of the 411 Talk Zone radio show. My name is Leon Jones. Today's topic is going to be more of a positive video. Of course, my other ones are also positive, and that's based on how you take the subject matter. Because what I am doing with all of my videos is exposing all the fuckery that's going on, whether it's for men and women. So with today's video, the subject matter is going to be, if you want to grow, you got to change your lifestyle. Now, there are a number of us that are very repetitious in life. In fact, if you have a job, it's repetitious. You do the same thing every day, and it's based on production, and then you're measured via metrics, especially when you are an organization and or you are an employee. That being said, you have to take these same measures and apply them to the real world. You see, a number of us come on YouTube to voice our opinion. I'm no different, but the difference between what I say and some of the individuals, I'm objective, although some things may hurt. I'm trying to press your buttons so you can see what you're doing wrong. And this video is not addressed to any particular gender. It's addressed to everybody. Because one of the reasons why you have problems in life is you're not growing, you're making the same decisions that are detrimental to you. Again, I made videos in the past about dating. And I tell men all the time, if you're going to find a quality woman, you have to look at yourself and you must assess standards. You must demand something from a woman besides pussy. The problem with a number of men is they've grown up in woman-headed households, particularly black men, and they come at the subject matter from an effeminate point of view. They think like women. They get very emotional when you are trying to explain the truth to them. They argue, they beef, and when you have a dialogue with them, they can't dialogue. They can't connect dots. And when you deal with the women, well, heck, they come from the same type of household where they're masculine. They question everything you do. Now, this is not black women, so please, sisters, don't come to my channel thinking that I'm talking about you, because I'm going to tell you this right off the bat. If it doesn't apply, let it fly. But if the shoe fits, you wear that shoe. Because if you don't like the shoe, you change it. Because some of you sisters out there get upset because men don't want to date single mothers. Men don't have to date single mothers. Do you want to date a single dad who's got a bastard child and you got to deal with the baby's mom all the time? Hell no, you don't want to do that. When you invest your time into somebody, you want them to invest their time into you, because you have no time to be wasting time. And this is part of what I'm trying to say when it comes to growing in life. If you deal with the same types of people in your life and you run with them all the time, what are you benefiting from? All you're doing is inviting a bunch of drama into your life, and that drama is going to influence you to make the same decisions you've always made, because the people who you surround yourself with have poor decision skills, poor communication skills, poor listening skills. And I don't care if you have a college degree or if you do not have a college degree. In fact, I find that a number of educated people with college degrees are dumb as a motherfucker anyway. Why? Because they don't know how to use conceptual common sense thinking. They think because they have a PhD, they have a master's degree, that they're smarter than everybody else. Heck, I have a master's degree, 2 of them, but I'm not smarter than everybody else. Why? Because what I learned in college is theory. When you actually have to apply the theory, A book doesn't tell you how to do it. A book is a mechanism that somebody wrote. It's a tool. But in the real world, the reason why it's so challenging is because it's constantly changing. And when it comes to being successful in life, some people like the way things are. They like doing things the old way. But one part of life that you must understand is technology. You see, if you don't understand how technology works, you'll never grow. And there are a number of individuals my age who don't know how to use computers. They don't know how to do PowerPoint presentations. They don't understand how this technology works. They don't understand how the Android phones work. They don't understand how the Apple phones work. But one must understand that technology is part of our life. And if you don't know how to use it or you've never been exposed to it, you're going to have problems making it in the real world because technology has allowed us to do things or run tasks in a short matter. Look at dating sites. Dating site is an algorithm. All your information in. Now, although dating sites aren't always accurate with the algorithm, why? Because it looks at what you put into it in order to match you up with somebody. And a lot of people who go on dating sites, in my humble opinion, aren't telling the truth anyway. This is why you may feel, based on the algorithm, that you've met a decent person, but in actuality, you didn't. It's what you put in to that algorithm or that system, and the result, it's going to spit out the result of what you put into it. Technology is something that is going to continue to grow. And if you don't understand technology, you're going to be lost. That being said, when it comes to you as a person, and you have to look at yourself as an individual, look at where you come from and where you want to go. And a number of us really don't have a clue where we want to go. In fact, instead of sitting back, analyzing ourselves as individuals, we tend to look at others and we assess their faults. But we don't want to take any initiative to look at where we're wrong. Now, the big problems that we have when it comes to men and women in this country is that there is a lack of respect for each other. And the reason why there's a lack of respect is because, yes, feminism, college, where you have had your mind programmed, because a lot of us are like computers. And when a computer has been programmed to do something that you might even not agree with, it sounds hideous. Well, what do you have to do to change that? You have to deprogram it, put some new memory in it, put something brand new in it, and get that computer to conform to a task that's going to be beneficial to you. And that being said, as a man, the reason why, and as a woman too, the reason why I say change your lifestyle is there are a number of individuals still looking for love. Now, I know there are some of my YouTube brothers who don't believe that you can't find happiness with American men or women. I believe differently. You can. But the way you're going to find that special person in your eyes is you got to change your behavior. You got to change your belief system to where you have some morals and values. Because we've gone from the society that integrated God into it, because our laws are written based off of a Judeo-Christian concept. We've gone more into a secular society where we want to make everything normalized, even if it isn't. We want to be politically correct. Now, because we live in this type of culture, how can you have a traditional mindset in this culture? Well, point number one, it's very simple. When it comes to growing up in an area like an urban area, now, most urban cities, if you look at them, they're secularized. Now, you have some spots that individuals have traditional values. But for the most part, what do you get in the cities? You get a lot of people who run amok. You get the high end people who run amok, and you get the low end people who run amok. Now, that being said, one aspect of life that you need to know is where are you going to live? And when you move to a different state, look at the state's political system. Are you moving to a red state or are you moving to a blue state? Why? Because the policies that the government makes, that can impact your lifestyle. And most people have to understand this. When you live in an area that is very permissive, you're going to have a lot of fuckery. Now, if you live in an area that's not as permissive, you're going to have people who are sheltered. You have to have a balanced life. And this is why I like to make videos from a balanced perspective, because I'm giving you the whole picture. Now, when you have the whole picture, it's easier for you to disseminate information. Now, as an individual, and I'm going to get on to dating right now, because this is where I'm going to go with it. Because when it comes to socialization, well, one of the reasons why dating doesn't work in today's society is because with Western women, they're petulant children. They're very selfish. They have all of the answers in their mind, but they don't want to hear answers from someone else. So when you meet a woman, guys, that has the mind of a vegetable based on what she says, based on what she's looking for, you need to abandon the situation quickly, because you don't want her to bring strife in your life. And guys, you got to be very, very selfish about what you're looking for. This is why I'm trying to get you all to adapt standards. Hey, if you don't want to date a single mom and she's upset that you don't want to date her, well, fuck her. Go on, move on. You don't have to. And if she tries to shame you into dating her, you don't deal with her. You don't deal with anybody that's going to bring drama in your life. Now, ladies, you don't have to deal with the thug either, or you don't have to deal with the Billy Bob either. Now, ladies, you do have standards, but what you have to do with your standards is this. Be realistic about your standards. Hey, every guy is not going to work in the corporate world. And just because he doesn't work in the corporate world, it doesn't mean that your corporate job is any better than what his job is, because it takes all types of jobs and disciplines to make this country go. Because some of you corporate women, you're not going to get out there and get your hands dirty. You're going to take that car to a person that gets their hands dirty to fix your car, because you don't know anything about cars. But you have to get out of that mindset, men and women, of revolving your life about status or around status. Status doesn't make you the person you are. It's your character. I don't care if you have a degree. See, one thing that we've been taught as a people when it comes to lifestyles, we've been taught that everything revolves around getting a job, getting a house, getting a good car. Those are all material. But we haven't been taught how to be good people. We've been taught how to be selfish. We've been taught, particularly this generation of children, on what not to do. And what I mean is, well, you get a certain age, you don't have to leave home. I'll take care of you. And what that does is, when you're enabled by your mom or your dad to live home after you get a degree and a job, you lose motivation and you actually lose your own value. And you lose your value because you're not growing. You're still a child. in order to grow, when I say change your lifestyle, that involves meeting new people, having like minds. And let me give you an example on how this works. Now, I've been on YouTube since last July, and I've talked with certain YouTubers. I fell out with some YouTubers. They're not bad YouTubers. It's just that my conceptualization of what the issues are is different from their conceptualization. And that's fine. And the reason why we fell out, it's not that I disrespect them and they disrespect me. It's just that we have difference of opinion, different ways of thinking, different demographics. And an example to changing who you are, particularly if you're utilizing social media, is find people who have like minds. Now, it's okay to have some differences, but if you find people with like minds, you're going to have some differences for the most part as well, but you'll be able to collaborate a lot better because people with like minds tend to listen to each other. People who don't have like minds don't listen to each other. In fact, they think they know more than each other. That's why when somebody tells me their opinion, I'll listen to it. But now if somebody tells me my opinion is wrong, I'm going to ask you, well, what makes you the captain of the ship? What makes your opinion more valuable than mine? What gives you credence to tell me that what I'm doing out here is nothing? What gives you that credence? You don't have the credence, but you're just running your mouth. See, part of changing your lifestyle is getting a circle of people around you who are going to support you, who are not going to be envious and jealous of you. And that comes with family members. That comes with who you are meeting for a potential wife or partnership. That comes with individuals who are very positive about life. Their mental state is stable, and they're truthful about who they are. And once you understand that concept, it's a lot easier for you to grow. See, a number of us, when it comes to life, we continue to do the same thing over and over and over and over and over again, thinking that we're going to get a different result. Well, the reason why we're not getting a different result is because what we're doing is constantly giving us the same result. This is what happens when it comes to dating. You know, a number of women get upset, particularly if they're single moms, because guys don't want to date them. And you have guys who get upset with women. Well, the problem with both situations is you're meeting the same type of person. And why are you attracting that same type of person? Because you're allowing that same type of person in your life, and you know what they bring, and you're comfortable with the situation, and you're going to continue to bring the wrong types of people into your life if you don't take the time to change your own lifestyle. Ladies, and I will tell you this, you're always welcome to come to my channel because I'm not trying to offend you, I'm trying to help you. Now, it's up to you on whether you want to listen, and guys, the same way. You can have a much better life when you look at yourself. And there are some of you who need mental health. You need to understand that your mindset can keep you where you are as well. Now, I've done many videos on mental health issues. That's why you hear me mention certain behavioral issues, because you're also judged on your behavior. See, your looks, you can get in the door on good looks. However, when your behavior is analyzed, this is when people are going to accept you or they don't accept you. Face it. When it comes down to anything in life, to be accepted, you have to look at your mental state. You also have to look at your maturity state. there are a number of adults out there who aren't very mature. They're still petulant children themselves. They didn't grow. They think the world revolves around them. This is where you get the princess syndrome. This is where you get the Peter Pan syndrome. Also, you have a number of individuals who are bipolar out here. They have histrionic personality disorders, dependency personality disorders. But in order to make a change in where you are when it comes to growth, you got to change a lot of your bad behaviors. Accept responsibility for your actions. Don't blame somebody else. Also, when you come up with standards, make sure your standards are realistic. Don't be selfish. Don't be narcissistic. And ladies, I'm pointing this out to you. When somebody points the truth out to you, don't get upset about it. Change it. Now, if you don't change the way you are, you're going to continue to be called out. I mean, there was a lady who left a comment under one of my subscribers. She said, black men are evil. Black men aren't evil. You want to know who the evil person is? You're evil for making that comment. Why? Because you didn't assess the situation. And a number of you black women out there don't like black men. Let's just face the facts. And there are a number of black men who don't like black women. There are a number of black men and women who want to date outside their race. That's fine. You can do that. But don't use that building up somebody else's race because you don't see carte blanche in your own race. And let me tell you, if I'm a non-black man or woman, I wouldn't date black men or black women. Why? Because if you hate your own race, because these other folks don't hate their own race, but we seem to hate each other. And if I were other races, I wouldn't date us if we hate our own race. You should be loyal to your own race first before you go to any other race because you understand the culture. But that doesn't work with black people. And you have white people who do the same thing. I just date blacks for this. If I'm a black person and you want to just date me because I'm black, that's a problem. And that's what happens with the swirling industry. I call it the industry or the swirling bullshit. They just want to go over there thinking that they're going to get a better deal. And at the end of the day, you don't get a better deal. In fact, you get the worst deal because what happens, they're going to do what they're going to do to you and send you right back over here. Now, this video isn't about swirling, but you got to change your mindset too when you're dating. Certainly you can love somebody from another race. But don't put down your own race by putting somebody else's race on a pedestal. I don't put anybody above God and me. And that's part of your lifestyle change. You got to stop listening to the bullshit and the indoctrination that's filling your heads. Because the world is very corruptive. And if you don't get a handle on who you are, or a handle on who you are, you're going to be left behind. So what you need to understand how technology works. You need to educate yourself on getting information. Even information that you disagree with can also help you out, but you got to be willing to listen to the information. And you have to understand that free speech goes both ways. Free speech you don't agree with, or free speech you agree with. Because if it's free speech that you don't agree with, that you want to silence, well, you're not a free speech advocate. You are advocating censorship. That's not how the real world works. But when you change your lifestyle, you make those changes that are going to help you grow. You don't make changes that aren't going to help you grow because it can go in the opposite direction as well. One thing that I want to tell individuals, for some of you so-called people who are faceless out here, if you don't like what somebody's saying, get yourself a YouTube channel. Put your face out there. I put my face out there every day. People know who I am. They know I'm Leon Jones, no matter what. And I'm not afraid to put my face out there. But what I want individuals to do, and this is all across the board, in order to change the culture that we don't like, we got to change ourselves. And the bottom line is, you don't look for anybody to validate you. You validate yourself. Everybody's not going to work in the same manner. We're different. We'll always be different. That's what's great about the human race. Now, of course, there are always going to be some in a bunch that want to continue to criticize. See, it's easy to criticize somebody when you're not in the game. But when you get in the game, you're going to be criticized. In other words, it's easy to be a soldier when there's no war. But when there's a war and you're in that war, you're going to be fighting for your life. Make no mistake about it. Why? Because part of strength is having a will to survive. Make that sacrifice. And when you make changes in your life or your lives, you make sacrifices. You're going to do things that you don't want to do or that you ordinarily wouldn't do. That's called growth. If you're staying in the same position today, if you're in the same position today that you were in 20, 30, 40 years ago, you haven't changed and you're not going to change. What's the point in even giving you this information? Because you don't want to change. But if you're willing to change for the better, that's going to help you out. Because a number of us wonder why we can't grow at work, we can't grow socially, we can't grow economically, we can't grow educationally, is because we don't want to grow. We allow ourselves to be headstrong and we're comfortable in the position that we're in. This is why I believe some men and women like the drama, because it's easy. They got something to talk about. Well, if you want to have different types of conversations, you start getting new subject matter to talk about. Everything is not trending. Talk about things that matter. Certainly, the entertainment world is great for some people. You can't live on the entertainment world. And that's just an example. Real growth is understanding that you as a human being make mistakes. You have to admit you're wrong, and you have to be willing to be corrected. And of course, there's some people out there who want to be argumentative, and I'm not talking about black women. I'm talking about people across the board. They want to be argumentative. Why? Because they don't want to change. So, first and foremost, if you want change, start assessing who you collaborate with. And if those people aren't growing with you, get rid of them. Get a new set of people in your life that you share commonalities. Get a new demographic. Because if you don't, you're going to go down the same road. You're going to be pulled down. And once you're pulled down, sometimes it's tough to get motivated to pull yourself back up. That's like running a mile. If you don't have enough endurance to run that mile, and you get tired and you rest, it's going to be hard to finish that course. But when it comes to changes in your life, surround yourself with people who are positive. Surround yourself with people that are going to have a positive influence, not a negative influence. And then you have to be a positive influence to them. You have to be an example to them as well, because growth is give and take. You're going to have to network with people. But if you can't network with people, you don't understand technology, you don't understand how the real world works by getting information and building yourself up as a man or a woman, and that's being able to accept accountability, being able to accept rejection, being able to accept the truth, then you're just wasting your time and everybody else's time, because you're never going to grow. But if you want to grow, you got to make new changes in your life. And once you make those new changes, it will give you an idea of where you want to go in life. And the place you want to go in life is always up. That's the mountaintop. You reach the pinnacle. You never want to go backwards. Just remember that. You never want to go backwards. So what I'm telling you all, Stay blessed. And have a gracious day. And that's my commentary for this edition of the 401 Talk Zone radio show for this morning, Sunday, September 10th, 2017. You can tune into the 401 Talk Zone radio show every Saturday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Blog Talk Radio. Guest call-in number is 215-383-5785. If you like my videos, please share and subscribe to the 401 Talk Zone radio show right here on YouTube, so I can continue to give you quality information for educational purposes from a professional and mature perspective. Now, on this channel, I don't engage in debates, controversial issues, or emotional issues. And the emotion is based on how you, as the audience member, take the subject matter. Also, I do not engage in drama and or unnecessary bickering because it is counterproductive. What I do on this channel is teach. I give you information that is positive but realistic, because the real world is a very challenging place. And if you come into the real world uninformed, you're going to be influenced by all the propaganda that's thrown at you, and your mind will be corrupted because you'll be repeating the talking points. So if you have knowledge, you have power. And if you have a topic, a business, or a new YouTube channel that you would like for me to discuss on YouTube or Blog Talk Radio, simply email me at lej6521@gmail.com. And if you have a comment, please leave your comments in the comment section under the video, but make sure that your comments are pithy. No bloviating, pettifogging, or filibustering if you wish to opine. Now that's it for this video. Till next time, my name is Leon Jones. Remember, please be gentle and respectful to each other, and have a wonderful and blessed day.